they do even no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman pikin dey the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh yo yo, my people make you shout. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come, man of the masses. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh yo yo, Mayegun diary politico. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh yo yo, this man not dey off in mind. Oh yo yo. Mayegun la wa mọ̀ la mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun la wa mọ̀ la mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. Once again, this is Mayegun Live.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í kó níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Share the broadcast. Invite your friends. Tonight, we are just going to give it a follow-up, to our earlier broadcast today. It's about the youth gathering in Lagos for the endorsement for Tinubu, a money paid for mobilization for the crowd in order to massage the ego of one man, the Bodilon landlord. So I'm going to go deeper on that tonight. But there's something said by Bishop Kuka. I will share that too. Share the broadcast.
And yes, we like Lórí YouTube. And yes, we like Oh, Baba Bewure. And yes, we like Dijo Ìgbádìyẹ. And yes, we like Presido Barufio. And yes, we like
Elder, I share the broadcast. Good evening to you once again, and you are welcome to Mayegun's Diary, Politico, the Temple of Truth. And tonight, I welcome the brethren into the Temple of Truth tonight as your General Overseer worldwide. I welcome you in the name of truth. However, where should we start from? Tinubu, why do you want to be president? That's most questions that's the main question that most people are asking, apart from those who have already ruled him out. They're like, Tinubu, why are you running for president, to be president of Nigeria? Hear him.
Yes, I want to be president. For what? Is it for Eba? Is it for Gary? Is it for beans, Adudu? I want to be president for you. Drive me there. We feel your angers when you are angry. I don't blame you. The promises of the past have failed to realize that you build the future from the onset, from the kindergarten. We cannot continue the lamentation of the past. If you have no PVC, if you have no revalidation of that PVC, you don't know whether it has expired. Yeah, don't forget that there is expiry date or even on your cash points. So go and revalidate the cards. Those of you who have not registered must go there. You can't be part of 1.4 billion people on Instagram and have no card. For God's sake. We cannot continue with excuses on NEPA failure. No nation can make a development, rapid development, without electricity. Give us that. And if we cannot be successful, yes, you can abuse us. But you cannot give us erratic electricity that is undependable and then blame us again that we are lazy. No! We have enough gas to fire up our electricity. We can supply the rest of Europe with gas and we can make money. Money long term. When I started, we used to pick dead bodies on the street. Today, Lagos is one of the cleanest, one of the most progressive states. Yeah. We deserve your clap. Some of you would not have been able to sit for WAEC if not for the payment of WAEC fee by our government. You are a beneficiary. Clap for that. And you must vote. If you vote for that, you can create the path for free education and the university level. We can build a new Nigeria where prosperity will not be isolated and limited to the family of the poor. We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt. I bring you a message of hope.
We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
So that was what they mobilized the young people to go and plead with, to come and be their president. The man that continued to refer to a permanent voter's card as an expirable card, telling people what is now permanent about the card if it is called PVC, permanent voter's card. The last time he made such a statement, he came back to say it was wrong. And then he withdrew his own statement. Now, that is the statement he said to thousands of young people mobilized from all parts of Yoruba land with money, of course, to go and beg to be their president. A dement. And he also, he's also the same guy who said that unemployment at 33%, 33% unemployment, that is 33% of Nigeria population. Then, today, the number has now grown to over 45%. People will tell you, they will say, generally, more than 80% of Nigerians don't have real job. That is why they used to say employed and underemployed. You will see graduate to riding Okada. You will see graduates working as a primary school teacher collecting 10,000 naira. He will still claim to be employed, but he is not different from those who are not employed. It was this same Tinubu After they brought the lies of 2015, we will work with you, Lori Ro, to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt. Lie. This was 7 years ago. The same man is now older and then weaker, medically challenged. And even in that, the calamity they brought here, the guy said, with 40 to 45% Nigerians who are now unemployed, thanks to APC, Egbekegbe, 45% unemployed. And when you were listening to him, did you hear him taking a dig at Bokwari? Aha. It is also part of what I wanted you to hear. In his address, addressing the youth, he spoke on the erratic electricity. For the first time in 30 years, Nigeria National Electricity Grid, wherever, the Electricity National Grid, Nigeria National Electricity Grid collapsed. The entire 200 million population, 774 local government areas, 36 states plus the Federal Capital Territory, the head or capital of Nigeria, slipped into darkness for hours. And it is not the first time, not the second time, not the third time, not the fourth time, not the fifth time, probably the sixth time under this rogue. So Tinubu admitted that Bokwari has failed. He may not tell you, among those that he will be parading as his own disciples, the Isaleiko Barack Obama. I'm talking about Idumota Albert Einstein, Fashola, Inspector Fashola Holmes. That was the guy they made a super minister after his tenure as a governor of Lagos State. He became a super minister, minister of darkness, potholes, and homelessness. That is Fashola. Under him, Nigeria electricity grid collapsed 3 times. And electricity generation and distribution also collapsed up by 48%. That means they didn't add a single megawatt to your electricity in 7 years. Your electricity generation plants, they are old, obsolete, and poorly maintained. Therefore, for 7 years, they added 0 megawatts to your electricity. So Tinubu admitted to that, the failure of Tinubu, Fashola, Bokwari, and Pastor Ruga. He also says something about job, unemployment. That was when he said he was going to give 50 million youth the job of protecting Nigeria by becoming vigilantes to chase the Fulani terrorists and the Boko Haram. So gradually, even though it is so obvious that this is Buhari Pro Max. Buhari Pro Max is what Tinubu is. A disaster waiting to happen, save for those who knows that their bread will be buttered if they can shout On your mandate, on your mandate, on your mandate, we shall stand. Meanwhile, he also mentioned something about Lagos. I be no be the same Lagos again. Tell me, if you are watching this broadcast, where are you watching from? Lagos, Abi? The Abi Koshe, the same Lagos, the cleanest city in the whole world. Lagos. That is one of those bare-faced lies that many of you are living in. Living in that denial, you are living in a slum and you know it. Even though so many of you are proud of it, right? But you should never, ever, as as probably as a responsible or reasonable person, consider Lagos anywhere near clean or safe. In this international survey conducted by one international body, and this survey had to do with cities all over Africa, safest cities and the worst city to be in Africa, safest places and the worst place to raise a child. Ladies and gentlemen, Lagos kuku pop up on the survey. Lagos is the worst place to raise a child. Lagos is the worst place to grow up. And what many of you call being smart is just struggling within the slum they created. And you know one thing about the slum in Lagos, it is like a bucket of crab. You know, when you have crabs in the buckets, and you have millions of crabs in a bucket or thousands of crabs in a bucket, definitely, right, there will be some crabs that will struggle up enough to get to the top of the pile. And when they get to the top of the pile, they will only survive by relying and resting on the shells of those who are underneath them. You see, the few crabs that manages to be at the top, they consider themselves better off, not choked off in the midst of the millions of crabs underneath. They consider themselves better, right? In the process, there are some crabs who are also going to manage, as they are already at the top, they can climb and jump out of the bucket completely. Only a few will jump out of the bucket eventually, because as more people jump out, the height of those crabs will continue to reduce. So they maintain it. Not many will jump out. That's exactly what the Lagos that you have, the reality of your Lagos. It is a slum. It is a place where you pretend to be rich because at least you have a generator, which is better past your neighbor. And if you are fair enough, to show that you are rich and better off, you may actually start building a house. And then to show that you are actually rich indeed, in your own inner sense, when you are building that house, you know what? The government won't give you security. The government won't give you electricity. You will have no health care. There will be no education provided. So as you are building your own place, you are considering building them yourselves, Abi? In the process, the government is not going to give you water. The government is not going to give you electricity. You will provide them. So now, an average person who has been inside that heat of a bucket called Lagos, and this manage to climb up to some level, those are the people who believe that they are living in Ajah, they are living in Lekki, they are living in what other poch area do you have in Lagos? All those funny places, yeah? That you consider the rich places. So that is where when you make money in Ajegunle, you started feeling like, no, my status no befit Ajegunle again. I am supposed to move to somewhere safer for my family's sake. Just like the crabs in a bucket. That is the Lagos. And you see that Lagos is a mini Nigeria. Do you get that? A mini Nigeria that can also be put into the context of what Nigeria is. But let's stay in Lagos that they created. You have no water. You have no waste disposal system, no reliable one, right? You have no good motorable roads. You know that. As the rest of Nigeria, as they are suffering from poor electricity supply, you are suffering from the same in Lagos. And you are, Abi. As the rest of Nigeria are battling with insecurity, you are battling with the same there, right? You are just like crabs in a bucket. So when you are at the top of the bucket, forgetting the other crabs that you are climbing upon to climb up top to climb, yeah, you begin to feel like you are better off. You begin to feel like you have an opinion as long as it suits the people at your current level. That's when you say you are now middle class. But when you look at it very well, you are your own local government in that same Lagos. Mm-hmm. You are your own vigilante in that same Lagos. You are your own, when I say local government in this case, you provide your own electricity. You provide education for your children. You provide your own health care. One single health crisis can make you sell off your properties. And then suddenly, Mr. Rich Man, Mommy Rich Woman, suddenly everything is gone. Even though they will tell you the reason why you lost all your properties, the reason why you lost all your savings, the reason why you lost all your life investments after falling sick is because some people who have been against you all your life, they have finally got you. Now they have taken away your everything. They decided to punish you. So you need to go and see a spiritualist. But what they didn't tell you is this. In a system where Tinubu is Lord, where he's saying, clap for me, clap for me, clap for me. Look at what we have done when you know they've done you nothing, Abi. Now, if the system is working, you know, no matter the kind of health crisis that you may have, you know you will never have to sell your property just to get well. Do you know that? If a system exists, even within that your legacy, it doesn't exist. Drinking water. Lagos State is considered the land of aquatic splendor because Lagos is surrounded by water. But Lagosians, the city where the cart butchers, people selling water in jerry cans, where some of you don't even know where they are bringing the water from, but at least you need water to do some things in the house before you go out, Abi. And you are living like that. Some of you who want to pretend that you are better off, you have dug your own boreholes. What they didn't tell you is that since the failure of government to provide you water, we no get any meal, Lagos no get water, nothing. If you want to know their failure, just take a tour to Ilupeju, go straight to Oshodi. If you have a chance, cross over to Bagada. From Bagada, cross over to Shomolu, Bariga. From there, join Onekpan back to Ikorodu Road. Start going straight to Surulere. Enter Surulere suburb and see how people are living there. All the big boys, big girls on Instagram. All these fine, fine boys, fine, fine girls and slayers everywhere from Lagos. My friend, Lagos is better than anywhere in Nigeria. They are there. They are living inside slum. Some of them, one small rain, like some, they will have to carry their mattress, put it on top of their wardrobe, and everybody will have to stand on their bed overnight until the water finally, draws away. They are big boys, big girls. They attend parties every now and then. They look happy every now and then. But go into those suburbs. If you finish from there, anywhere where you want pass, if road day, manage and cross down to Mushin. All right. From that Surulere to Mushin, if your journey fit take you straight from Mushin again to somewhere along my 12, what do you call it? My 2. Go to my 2, then that's where you will see the real Lagos. So that's start going to my 2. When you get to my 2, from before you even get to my 2, take a detour. Because once you get to my 2, you'll be going to Ajegunle. Many of you know how Ajegunle is. It's the same yesterday, today, and forever. The poverty center, the where you will see the real thing, where people are living on dust, on dump sites in that same Lagos. So I'm still talking about water now. Then you can now take your tour down straight to Okoko. From Okoko, pretend that you are going to Agbara and see all those how people are living there. First Stack. Oh, you would have passed First Stack. If you have a chance, you can just stop by in First Stack too. Ask them. They all fence their own. Everywhere is fenced in Lagos. They said they are having estates. That's another funny name they have there. That makes them pretend that they have a kind of a better life. From Face Me, I Slap You, sharing one toilet by up to 50 people, in the same building. And, everybody coming out dressing nice and all of that. 20 people inside one room, living like prisoners. That has become the nature of our people. They were supposed to be different, but they are not. Now, when they take all the money from there, they decided to go and start, instead of providing water, instead of providing electricity, instead of providing roads, instead of providing basic things that are policy backed, things that are not in deceit, in proxy, things that actually exist, policy backed things, not owned by them, funded by government money, but they are owned by them. I am not talking about that. So they took the money. They will take the money from everyone. Agbero will collect his own. Bambi, everybody shall collect their own from everybody every day. Rob life, hard life. Rather than use the money to invest it in the people, invest it in housing, invest it in so many other things, because of what they are making from Lagos, they decided to go and start claiming land from the sea. Now that same Tinubu, who started, they said that Tinubu started BRT. Did they tell you that the same BRT, even though they used Lagos State's name to raise the bond, which is like borrowing money to start a business that is owned by Tinubu's cousin, in which everybody believes that is owned by Tinubu. So Tinubu's cousin wants to own transportation company. He has no money. He went to his own uncle, Abina Egbon, Tinubu. He couldn't give him money. He was like, you know what? Don't worry. You come here, Fashola. We have a plan to do this Lagos plan for Lagos bus commuter story. So they had to use Lagos name to borrow the bond and gave the money to Tinubu's cousin. So you have BRT. That has every government backing, but it was just a conduit pipe owned by them, not Lagos State. Every time you talk, they will tell you it's not owned by Lagos State government. It's a private company. Is that not what they tell you? It is owned by them. They took your money to claim land from the sea. When you are drinking from the gutters, you are drinking from the gutters. That's what we say. And then they can boldly come around and say, Lagos State is the best because I have been in charge of Lagos State. When are you going to tell yourselves the truth? It can be annoying, but not too many of us who have been doing our best to tell you that they can lie to you yesterday. They've always been lying. But getting away with the lies is because you allowed them. Listen to it again. I have something else I'm going to share with you.
Yes, I want to be president. For what? Is it for Eba? Is it for Gary? Is it for beans and Dudu? I want to be president for you. Drive me there. We feel your angers when you are angry. I don't blame you. The promises of the past have failed to realize that you build the future from the onset, from the kindergarten. We cannot continue the lamentation of the past. If you have no PVC, if you have no revalidation of that PVC, you don't know whether it has expired. Yeah, don't forget that there is expiry date or even on your cash points. So go and revalidate the cards. Those of you who have not registered must go there. You can't be part of 1.4 billion people on Instagram and have no card. For God's sake. We cannot continue with excuses on NEPA failure. No nation can make a development, rapid development, without electricity. Give us that. And if we cannot be successful, yes, you can abuse us. But you cannot give us erratic electricity that is undependable and then blame us again that we are lazy. No! We have enough gas to fire up our electricity. We can supply the rest of Europe with gas and we can make money. Money long term. When I started, we used to pick dead bodies on the street. Today, Lagos is one of the cleanest, one of the most progressive states. Yeah. We deserve your clap. Some of you would not have been able to sit for WAEC if not for the payment of WAEC fee by our government. You are a beneficiary. Clap for that. And you must vote. If you vote for that, you can create the path for free education and the university level. We can build a new Nigeria where prosperity will not be isolated and limited to the family of the poor.
I know it didn't make any sense. I just thought you should listen to him, so that when it becomes your president, then you just have to deal with that. That's what you have to deal with. I've not got anything to lose, I don't think, except if I just don't want to be selfish and remember that we have people that are going to be the victims of all this nonsense. All those ideas, why are they not the same ideas they said they had when they said the APC Egbekegbe was coming? So what happened to those ideas now? Now Tinubu won't come bobo you again, and then you as a Yoruba man, they've destroyed education, destroyed everything. Look at those. If you are in school right now, if you are a young person, if you have children who are currently in the university or they are in their secondary school and all that, or some of you have children who are in school, who are still in school, and you have some who are already graduate. You know the reality. The number is going to continue to grow and grow. The poverty is going to continue to grow as well, because the same characters like this will continue to talk, and sometimes you'll be lost and say, is he talking about this same Nigeria, Sha? They will say anything, just anything, to have that power. I know people are telling you that if you don't vote, they will bring themselves in and they will still do what they would do. What a cheap blackmail. If you are not going to be part of any of this, you have to make a statement that you are not going to be part of it. And you don't have to do it violently. Those who have been voting for them, there are those who are so passionate about them. They will fight you. They will become your, they will do anything just to defend them. But you see the poverty, you see the destruction, you see the ruinous government of Bukwari. They are sharing in it too. So let them go and vote for them. And let the number of people who are no longer interested continue to grow. There is already full voters apathy. Some of you may say, because me as I am now, I am somebody who love equity. Okay? I don't like being the same people that I am actually exposing in order to enlighten ourselves, never to be like them. I am not one of those who believe in this idea and the intimidating idea of no election, no election. Just same way we are fighting to have our own right never to be trampled upon, which is right to self-determination. And in this life, right is a very, very delicate thing where you have your rights. And where that your own rights stop, there starts someone else's. Which means if you want your own right to be respected, you must never trample or call the bluff of other people's rights. Right? So instead of no election, which is so popular among many people, no election, no election, no. When you say no election, that means you must have the capacity to either legally stop it or violently stop it. I will support a legally stopped election, which means everybody, all parties will have to obey the court or the law. But I won't support a violent no election, you know? No, I'm not saying that all of you are saying no election and all that, but this is what I understand about it. Said, many people are already staying away from the election. Many people have already shown that the electoral system in Nigeria is so fraudulent that it is a pure waste of time for a long time. And it is called voters' apathy. And that is something that should be further encouraged until that their election will lose all relevance. You can stay away from not participating. That is called boycotting the election. So to you, no election for me. Anybody who won't go do election, it is their right. You should never say, if they see you go for any election, we will deal with you. That is you becoming the same people that you are trying to run away from. They said, if anybody say, break up Nigeria, you must arrest them. They are criminals. They are this and that. Now, if you now say, if anybody goes out there for any election, we need to fight these people. We need to stop them. Violently means you are trying to tell other people that their own choice of choosing election is unacceptable to you and it must be the same. So compare both. So they are sad that, for example, IPOB is sitting at home. Some of you may not know or may not fully understand the effect of the compliance for people to sit at home and get used to that. On the day of election, politicians need people to validate the election by coming out. So if they have enough people to come out, they don't need all of you. They just need few people to come out for validation. So if you come out, all the available numbers of registered voters who didn't come out is their own window to lift the number by thumbprinting for them. But without you being there, it won't make any sense. Do you get that? So when you now sit at home or you boycott the election, to you, you are exercising your own rights. They will be begging you. That's why they are begging. When you say, I don't have anything to do with the election. Listen, I'm telling you that statistically, from 1999, the voters and the participation, those who have been participating in Nigeria election, they have been reducing. Even though the numbers of people who have been registering to vote, they have been increasing. Which means many people are registering just to get the voters card, because some of them are also government workers, and some of them in their own workplaces, they needed to have a proof that they register and they will vote. So every 4 years, as these criminals continue to fail, more people are losing interest in their election, and it continues to lose its value. Under this APC, Egbekegbe, for the first time in Yoruba land, Yorubas are going to boycott the election in a massive way, because the other Yorubas are also going to stand up to go and validate their bosses. You know who are those that will still go out to validate? They are those who are always going to make their campaigns. But you see, when you weaken a system from within, when you manage to get people to understand the power that they hold, that they freely or ignorantly given to these rogues that comes every 4 years to promise them the same thing they've been promising them for over 20 years. When you make people understand that power, and they take it back, it is more potent and effective than getting a gun if you want to decimate the political oligarch from any region in Nigeria. Though it is tricky, but it is quite potent, I'll say. So Tinubu and gang, they have been living what is called a mirage, and they have been benefiting from it. They have never really been genuinely challenged in Yoruba land. And that is why, conveniently, until he will probably lose his his memory totally, he will continue to live in that world that he has indeed served the Yoruba people, and he also deserved, as he said, for his lifetime ambition to be president of Nigeria. That is his own ambition, and it is his own right, Just like many people are saying, instead of not participating in the election, choose another people to stop them. Don't choose anybody. Don't choose anyone. Don't go and join them to validate nonsense. Our own person, Omoyele Sowore, was on this platform, and he told us, he said, PVC is poverty validation card. That no sensible person should be campaigning or mobilizing for any election. Rather, they should be demanding for the probe of all these criminals who are all covered in this their bloody immunity, that they should be stripped of those immunity, punished for their crimes, before you can then decide if you want to have any election or not. Unfortunately, just few days after that, our own person, Omoyele Sowore, declared to run for president again. As much as it is now a mixed taste for many of us, but to most of us on Mayegun's Diary Political, when we said we are not participating in their fraudulent election, and we are not going to encourage anybody to participate in their fraudulent election, you have lost nothing. You have gained nothing when you participated in their election. When you even voted or you did all that, depends on which part you've also participated in. You've realized that it is all lies, all deceit. And we realize as well that even if you have a good intention, the system is rigged. It is so rigged that even if the entire youth in Nigeria vote for you, the system will make sure that you